Welcome back to Myth Machine and Chicago by Night, first edition. Yeah, we're telling a story from the first edition, Chicago by Night. This is when Vampire the Masquerade was also on its first edition, but we're using V5 for that, of course. Tonight's episode is rated R for mature content. Expect violence, blood, horror themes, personal horror themes, psychological terror, probably, and so on. What horrible things have we done? Oh, multiple diablerie from one, and casual murder, and other things. And other things. Yeah.
Rock and roll. We
Why
forgot.
don't we
It's a
start
very
with
heavy rock and roll.
it's yes, that is true as well. Yes. Feel free to introduce yourselves, coterie.
Yes. Hello, I'm Dominic, or Domi for short, your resident Malkavian, who's also playing a Malkavian known as Sylvester, the rockstar of the group.
Alright. I'm El Duende, pronouns any all. Potentially at Hunger 4 because I am bleeding from my nose like crazy, so potentially some sort of stigmata. Also, currently playing as Tony Hernandez, the Brujah gangster.
Sorry. Hey, I'm Jan. I'm playing as Chris, the Toreador body artist.
Brujah, I'm playing as Gold-Tooth Charlie, caitiff former gangster.
Indeed.
But not so formal, actually. Former.
Okay, so he's still in the gangster circuits, isn't he? Yeah. Once you're in, you're
Yeah.
never out. You can't
It's-
retire
it's-
from this life. Do you think
It's
you can
blood
retire
in,
from
blood
this
out.
life?
So,
Was that-
and he's blood out. So he's no longer a gangster because you're in it for life, and he's undead.
So he's out now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, that's definitely that's how it works. Yes. Is it? I don't know. I'm cackling here to myself. All right. So, last session, you were cruising the city looking for leads for the Requiem Riders. There were also other things going on. Chris had a very messy date with his sire that didn't turn out so well. And let's see, what other things did we do? You met with Nina, the Ventru who lords over the Irish gangs on the south side, and you had a conversation about him regarding trails that might have been left by the Requiem Riders and whether or not you could do some investigation on his turf, which he allowed you to do. Turns out these guys are tagging like crazy. They just keep tagging Long Live the Sabbat, The Beast Rules, and more than one person in this coterie is getting to be a bit worried about the masquerade, which I'm sure there's no reason to be, because no hunters would pick this up as an ominous sign of vampiric activity.
Yeah. Like, how would a hunter even know the word Sabbat?
Exactly.
That seems like occult 5 to me.
So I'm sure it's perfectly safe. Yeah. But other than that, these guys are pretty clever for being a bunch of bikers who are tearing it up in Chicago, and so far you haven't found them. So that's where we're picking up. It's a week later. You've tried to do your best to chase these guys down. You have found a bunch of tags across town, not just the one on the south side. Generally on the outskirts of town. They tend to not go downtown, which might be because they're a biker gang and they would
Instantly die. They wouldn't even meet the other vampires.
There might be some people out looking for them after the thing they did with the Opera House. Yeah. All right. If you, dear audience, are enjoying the show, hit follow, share the link, and lights down, fangs out. Let's begin with this week of shenanigans, shall we? Who do I start with this time? There are so many of you that I could start with. Chris, I'm gonna count it as everybody has hunger 1 right now because since we've done the time skip. So
Okay.
I'm nice like that.
Yeah.
But Goldtooth Charlie still needs to recover some aggravated willpower points since before. And you can do that by either hanging out with your touchstone or by fulfilling your ambition in some fashion. We'll see what you will do. But let's start with Chris. Where are you now this night of the Monday, 24th of June, 1991?
So
It's a
Chris
full moon.
is in one of the gyms he owns.
Ah,
Or
yes.
The one, I guess, the one gym he owns at this stage because he's still doing that project, and his thing is like all night gym, like that. It's open, get your gains after work kind of thing.
Yeah.
So he's there and he's giving people like advice on how to exercise properly and scoping out potential targets.
That makes sense. Targets for more drinking?
Yes.
What else?
As a vampire, you're always on the hunt as a vampire. Like he's not hungry right now, but he's just like marking people down for later. Like maybe
You know who's gonna be a... Oh, we need your gym here. We definitely need a picture for that, don't we? Yeah.
What sort of aesthetic gym? Is it like the sort of health spa with Nautilus machines? Or is it like all barbells and kettlebells and stuff?
I'm not sure. What I'm picturing is like the typical, like in the 80s, there was like this kind of get fit craze. So I'm thinking it's like one of the gyms from, I don't know, that maybe they went to an LA Law or something. So just there's lots of jazzercise and stuff like that.
Yeah, absolutely. And I know how people dressed in gym clothes. There was so much neon, and you'd have fluffy leggings and stuff like that. And
Yeah.
I'm actually going to the YMCA right now in real life, so this actually gives me an idea. Thank you.
Oh, are you gonna dress in 80s style with all the neon?
I will neither confirm nor deny.
You will not. Okay, that makes sense. I think we'll have one fun person showing up at your gym. No, that wasn't what I... There we go. Okay. She finally tracked you down.
Oh. My potential stalker?
What? No, just another mortal connection, of course. There you go. It was Melody, wasn't it? No, that was Charlie's friend.
I don't think we named her. You just.
Oh, I
said
did. I did.
she-
I
she-
did. There we
well,
go.
I-
Cammy!
say her name was?
Cammy.
Oh, I wrote down Amy. All right, never mind. Let me change that.
Yeah, she's gonna come to your gym tonight. And she's gonna be all like, Chris, I finally found you. I'm so happy. Look at this. I've been looking. You never told me which gym you were working on, naughty boy. But this is where you are. Maybe you can become my personal trainer.
Maybe I can. And where were you looking for me? In pubs and stuff, or? you
Yeah,
asking around
she's gonna basically rattle off a bunch of other gym. They're all like big box franchises. What do they call them? I can't even remember gym names because I don't go to gyms.
Okay. Why don't you come into my office and we'll do some paperwork? Maybe I can get you to be a member at this gym.
That'd be great. Yeah. you're gonna have your haven in this gym too, aren't you?
Yeah, it's like above.
Yeah. She'll definitely come with you to your office. And she's gonna very carefully close the door behind you to your office. Does the office have these draw-down curtains with that she can just turn and make sure that nobody can see in?
Yeah, let's say it does. And it has, I don't know, Chris never went to the Olympics, but let's say it has some of these personal accomplishments, like trophies for like best in Minnesota or winning the Berkey.
Best in Minnesota. Yep.
Yeah, that's a big, he's from Wisconsin.
Yeah, it's a state championship, absolutely.
Yeah, That, and like winning the Berkey, maybe that's a big race.
Oh God, he has 2 Wisconsinites.
No, I forget where I put. Yeah, but he's from Wisconsin. That's where. I wanted to make him close to Chicago and be a winter. So that makes sense from Wisconsin.
Makes sense. Yeah. Yeah, she's gonna wrap her arms around Chris and say, I can't wait for my first private lesson. And she's basically just throwing herself at him.
I'll say, work now, play later.
Aw, she says. Okay, then.
And
But
I
I
guess
can
I'll
work
try
so
to.
very hard.
I'll try to finagle her like details out of her.
Yeah, she'll give all the details.
Like where she lives.
Yep.
Does she have a big family? Would she be missed?
Yeah. That is an awfully specific question to ask, isn't it?
That I don't specifically ask that because that's a dumb ask. But like, oh, do you have a big family? Where do you work? What, like, you're in good shape? Do you exercise a lot?
Yeah, she will rattle off her uncle. Why did I have to come up with this name right now? Dang it. Her uncle.
You don't have to. I'll come up with a name, John.
Dude.
There.
John. Her uncle John. Yeah, okay. Uncle Bob. There we go. Uncle Bob. Yeah, that's how it is. Uncle Bob. And
So,
I mean, she talks a bit about her ex-boyfriend who was absolutely super lame and then she will squeeze your biceps a little bit.
okay. What would I need to roll to do a will this person be missed roll?
Will this person be missed roll? I think you need to roll intelligence insight, probably. Yeah.
Okay. It's not a great roll for me.
And I think it's just going to be an average 3 successes needed because she is so very forthcoming about everything.
Maybe I can go on a few dates with her, get more information, get that number down maybe. So I'll say, look, I'm working tonight as you can see. I'm still looking for staff in this place, trying to get it going. But tomorrow night, why don't we go on a date? I'll meet you at your place at... What time is the sunset these days, Miguel?
Sunset now. What do we say? The date is... I know what I said. I don't know what I said.
Isn't it like June or something?
Yeah. $8:30.
Okay, so I'd say I'll meet you at 9. You go dancing maybe.
That would be great, she says. Absolutely, that is a date. I'm gonna hold you to it. Just gonna pick up, I don't know, if there's a measuring tape or some rope or maybe a jumping rope somewhere. She's gonna put it over your neck and just make it into a necktie and just hold, and then turn it into a leash in a very playful manner.
I'm just looking at this AI image of the gym, and it's really weird. It's done. This is not actually an okay rendering of the basic idea of a power rack. But it has an incredibly wonky set of pull-up bars, and for some reason, it's got fixed weight stacks down each side for no apparent reason.
Don't question the Escher madness, is all I have to say about that. As you are talking to her and taking all her information, you've given your address to Sharon, haven't you?
Yeah.
Because that's the best way of maintaining your relationship with Sharon, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so Sharon will be walking in. So now you have both Sharon and Cammy here.
I guess I'll introduce Cammy, because if you act suspicious, that's how they catch you up. So I'll just say, oh, this is my mentor, Sharon. She's helping me transition from the athlete world into the business world. Sharon, this is Cammy. She's a new member here, and we've...
And Sharon, with all her glitz and glamour, and she's dressed as always. She's not going for the full evening gown this time. She is slightly more, shall we say, civilian rather than ballroom dressed. But she still has a long furred boa over her shoulders and thrown across the neck, because who wouldn't? And there's glitter in her ears and around her neck from jewelry more expensive than an average Joe's yearly salary. And she's mentor. Yes, of course, Chris. That is exactly who I am. And she's gonna smile at Cammy, and let's see. I think she's going to notice very quickly that Cammy is in fact a mere mortal. Oh, so who is this lovely little girl, Chris? I didn't know that you had hidden her away from me.
Oh, I didn't hide her at all. The relationship is just beginning. It's in its blossoming phase.
Oh.
Obviously, I was going to introduce you to her at the appropriate time.
Oh, so she's gonna go up to Cammy and just put her hand on the cheek. So you are his girlfriend, are you?
I'm sorry to say that.
What was that?
I was going to say, oh, we're just dating at the moment.
Just dating? But that is a great occasion and has to be celebrated. Perhaps I can invite the two of you to my place at some point, and we'll see how... Do you like champagne, young lady? What was it? Miss Cammy? Cammy's reacting to all this in probably what is going on here? But I think she's gonna be twisted around Sharon's fingers really quickly.
Yeah. Well, why the fuck is your mentor like this?
Cammy, if the mentor in question is using all the presence powers, maybe she will forget about that. Yeah, I think Cammy will actually have really big eyes looking at Sharon. Oh, I told you, Chris, that you would make it in the world. Look at this. Look at that. Oh, so you're going to finance Chris's gym? Oh, this is going to be great. Yeah, I love champagne.
I'm gonna. Oh, Cammy, since we've arranged our date, I assume that Sharon is here for business reasons. So, could you give us some privacy, please? It's probably just legal stuff.
Sure, of course. Yeah, I'll be right outside if you need anything. And she will go outside, and she's gonna be waiting with bated breath and probably listening in on at the door.
So, did you come here for a particular reason?
Do I need a reason to come in and check in on my protege?
No, you don't need a reason. It's just usually you have one.
Don't be so pouty. I need to check in on my protege on the regular to make sure that you're not doing something silly, like something that would attract attention from the wrong people. And also, I can't say I've been around your place a whole lot, so I wanted to take in, shall we say, this rustic part of town. It's just a different atmosphere from what I'm used to, and one has to diversify one's impressions and one's horizons. That little snack is positively lovely, by the way.
Yeah, she's very enchanting. What do you think of the place? Of the gym? Any suggestions for the decor?
Oh, I am not really one for interior decorating, honey. But if I were to deal with this place... No, I hire people to do my interior decorating for me.
Oh, sure. But I do respect your eye for fashion and ambience.
Yes, of course. Though I doubt that this place has seen fashion in quite a while.
Yes. That's, of course, why your touch is most welcome.
You're so sweet, honey. Well, I guess Chris and Cam... What's gonna happen to Cammy? Is she gonna get eaten? Is that how we solve the Cammy problem? Probably.
Oh, Chris isn't sure yet if she'll be missed.
Yeah. She talked a little bit here about... Apparently her surname is Reyes, and she has a Mexican-American family in a little village. Yeah. She has a mom, an abuela, 2 younger brothers... Yeah.
Oh, this sounds like somebody who'll be missed.
She has an Uncle Tavo who runs... He's a mechanic who knows people.
Oh no, she's definitely gonna be missed.
Yeah, I think I'll have to enghoul her once I'm done with my project that I'm doing at the moment.
Possibly. Just because she's a stalker doesn't mean that... It does mean that she's an annoyance to you, doesn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
But...
But I can buy her off, right? Like, that's how you deal with stalkers.
Oh,
like,
yeah, absolutely. Eventually.
Yeah.
All right. Charlie. Gold-Tooth Charlie. Back again. And after...
Charlie is going to try and find the gates from the vision that were connected to the Requiem Riders. And try and... What was it? The docks they were connected to. So we'll just be prowling around different places to try and match up the description and see if you can find anything there.
Yeah, let's see now. You have been working through all sorts of... Let's see now. We're making a list of all the places where a bunch of bikers... You've done already the most obvious ones, biker bars. But after having perused those areas and talked to your criminal contacts about them, it's clear people know they're in town by now because they made enough noise for that. And they've turned up to trash at least one biker bar. We know this already, so rumor gets spreads like wildfire through the community. But since then, they haven't really turned up in any particular place known for bikers. Other places to check here would be mechanics who deal with particularly biker mechanics. If you can do repair work on a car, you can most likely do repair work on a bike as well. But I'm sure there are mechanics who are more positively inclined towards biker gangs than some, right? So that could be something to check out, because bikes suffer wear and tear, and even if you know your way around a wrench, sooner or later you're going to need to buy a spare part because something broke down. gas stations, because bikes need fuel. Various overpasses you can hide underneath. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of, like, junctions and so on that you can check out. The Barrens are famously a place where you could search for people who hide in the Rust Belt, where the abandoned factories are. The Anarchs hide out there a lot. I don't know if you want to go and check those places out, because that carries with it a risk for running into Anarchs.
Yeah, I missed part of what you were saying there. God was cutting in and out. People were dropping off and coming back in.
Yeah, I think it's like a Discord server issue that happens once
yeah.
in a while.
Yeah.
I got like the general gist, basically searching around the outskirts of Chicago for the bikers.
And so I say again, mechanics who deal particularly with bikes and are seen as friendlies by the biker community, gas stations because you need fuel for your bike, and maybe the Rust Belt. You can hide in so many places out there, the abandoned factories. Yeah, those are 3 places that come to mind. I don't know if Charlie wants to go to the Rust Belt, though, because Anarchs may or may not be your friend in this case. You haven't you don't actually have a reputation for being anti-Anarch yet. Not like Tony does.
However, I want you to keep in mind that you do associate with me.
Yeah?
If I were Anarch and I saw someone who I knew associated with Tony Hernandez, I'd just shoot them on sight.
That makes sense.
So, what about as well from the Vision, the dock gates? Because we haven't been there to try and find that yet.
Yeah, the question is, where would you find it? Like, the Vision tells you, like, when you see it, you're going to know it, but it doesn't tell you in which part of the city it is. So, that's going to be a tricky part.
It's docks, right? So,
do you know how many docks Chicago has?
It's a city of like 3 million, dude, and that's excluding like all the other bullshit that part of Chicago land.
And it's the other difficulty if, Sylvester sees it, he's gonna know it's that, but he can describe it as best as he can to the other people, but they don't have the visual aid.
At this point, Tony is like after a week dismissed it as probably just a hallucination.
There's docks here, there's further docks down here, there's docks down here, and then we get to Gary where there's even more docks. And oh, look at this, here's a bunch of stuff. Yeah, there's a lot, needle in a haystack, but it's just one weekend.
Yeah, that might actually be an idea if Sylvester will come along, just to drive down the shoreline and just see them one after another and see if any of it jumps out as being from the Vision.
I'm gonna set this to be your haven. It's the start of another night. Why don't you roll a rouse check for this night?
Should I as well?
As per usual.
Yeah, why not?
Hungry.
I'm gonna say that as the week has gone on,
Yeah.
Tony is mentally the one tweet where it's like, not right now, kitten, the walls are closing in on daddy. I feel like that's the best way to describe this mental state.
Maybe a little bit? What? Nah. No walls around here. It's all open terrain. There will, in fact, be someone ringing the doorbell at your haven. Yeah.
And one of the guards will be getting that.
And one of the guards will be getting that, and he's gonna come up and... What was that?
If he's a hunter or Anarch, the guard's dying first, not me.
Yeah, no, there's no Anarch this time. I mean, if Anarch comes here, there's gonna be a lot of gunplay. Like, all your guards and you guys versus the Anarchs. That's a lot of lead in the air.
Yeah. Honestly, I feel like with how dangerous that could be, I feel like I should probably make a secondary safe house in Gary. perhaps.
You're gonna start building a new haven because this one is getting too public. Is that what we're saying?
Just like a backup place in case things get a little bit too hot in Chicago.
That's fair. This one here, his name is Emilio. He's gonna come up here and go, Mr. Charlie, there's a lady here to see you.
Charlie will take a deep breath, even though he no longer needs to, and will step out to see who is here for him.
You recognize her. It's Emily. You met her at the theater like a week ago, more than a week ago. She was with Neely. She's dressed in a nice, tight, down to her knees, just above her knees, black dress. She has a jacket over that. Decent cleavage, you gotta say, but not so much that it looks like she's a street worker. Nice necklace of black shiny stones and silver ring on her finger. Hi, Charlie, she says and smiles. You can never guess how much work I had to do to find this address, but I did it, I found it, and I am so happy to find it. How about you and I... You're not busy right now, are you? How about you and I... You're the one who's supposed to be asking for a date, but I'm gonna ask you for a date, because I haven't seen anyone this good looking in such a long time, and she's gonna put her hand on your cheek.
Okay, many things are going on in Charlie's brain at once right now, and he will just say, let's go. And as sort of he's leaning out of the act, sort of leaning it, we'll just like sort of lean one hand back through the door to where everybody else is in like the living room, and just make the sort of, I got this hand signal. And we'll get her out of here as quickly as possible, and I guess...
I don't know if you really have it under control. How much do you not want to be charmed by her right now? Because she is very charming.
I'm gonna say that, like, when you do that, Tony just, like, silently looks at you for a second, looks down, and just shakes his head.
Did you want to... We're not making any attempts to resist this. Because I had 6 successes on her, like, just leaning in and being absolutely charming and very seductive. So it's... She has it. She's not... She is stunning, I will say that. Much like yourself, Charlie, the two of you together, it's like Hollywood elite charming and stunning. You'd have... If you were known people, if you had any type of fame, you would be swarmed by paparazzi. Like, this is a Toreador's dream come true. It's strange that Charlie and Emily have not been embraced to Clan Toreador because, wow, they walk down the red carpet and into a great salon. Everybody's going to look at you guys. But here you are. You're a Caitiff, and she is whatever she is. Human, though, that's for sure.
Yeah. The Chicago night must not be denied such beauty.
Exactly.
We're going out on the town.
Very good. Yeah, she is absolutely bringing you out on town to... What nightclub would you like to go to? What kind of places do you like to go to, she says, as she takes your hand and gets escorted to your car, obviously, because you're going to drive her, right? She has her own car, but... Or maybe she's driving you this time.
I think just before they leave, Sylvester will like hand signal to Charlie, just, that lady's crazy. Essentially.
Yeah, I think we're doing like old school Gold Coast neon and chrome gardens. We're going to the Palmer House.
Excellent. She loves it.
I'm not actually sure. I know the Palmer House was in the Iceberg Slim novel Trick Baby. And there was like a place called the Pump Room at the Palmer House Hotel. But I'm not sure if it would still be open in 91, but if it's not, somewhere like that.
Yep, she is absolutely gonna enjoy that. Away you go. As you're driving, are you going in her car or in your car?
My car.
Very good. I've been around your kind for a while now, she says. But I've never met anyone who... You seem to be looking out for your friends, aren't you?
Yeah, we got thrown together and we're making the best of it.
Yeah, I know a little something about that. Wow. I know more than a little something about that. Crazy. But you're cute.
How do you know our kind?
Oh, Neely. One fine night, he found me, you could say, and he was a hard man to resist, I gotta tell you. I still have some feelings for him, but I also like to stretch my own wings.
I know that. I can see the temptation, this whole the society to see and learn about. On the other hand, there's a bunch of us together, you know how close that always is to going sideways.
Sometimes, for sure. I hear stories, Neely tells me things, but I try to keep my distance from mingling with too many of you at once. Meeting one at a time, that's about manageable, I think.
Yeah, sometimes I think we should keep it down to as low a number as possible, too.
That's what I like to hear. You haven't been part of this life for a long time, have you? That's the rumor, anyway.
Yeah, actually, above table, how long has it been now? How long will Charlie have been a vampire for? Is it like under a year still, or...?
Let's see now. You were embraced in 1990. Let's roll a d12 and find out when in 1990. I rolled a 10. So October 1990? Okay. You haven't been a vampire for a year yet.
God damn, this is one crazy first year then.
Yes, it is.
Didn't we establish that before the first story started, like 6 months?
Yeah, okay. So then it is a year now. Yay! You're celebrating a year as a vampire. How are you going to celebrate that? Emily doesn't even know this, of course, yet.
Well, I will say, just about a year. Funny story. Night it happened, I was supposed to be my retirement party. I was
Some
out
retirement.
walking.
She will actually laugh at that. Some retirement. Oh boy. You had. I guess you did retire in a way, didn't you?
The way I wanted to.
What is it like? For you to be like that
It's like everything I was gonna be, everything I was going to do after retiring nearly went away. But then everything that I was trying to get away from came back. Sharper focus, faster, crazier, and more brutal. The only thing that's dangling at the end of it, though, is all the years I might have now to read, I guess, do a few other things I always liked. But if you ever get a chance for this life or not, no, it's not worth it.
It's not?
Tell you, if you look at it, you may see the outside dream and just see this night society of bunch of sleek, beautiful predators. You might think it's like to live in a bunch of German expressionist paintings. But anything that may make this life look desirable, the process of becoming like this takes away anything that would have made it worth it.
That sounds really sad, she says, putting her hand on your hand as you're managing the car, and I'm gonna try to help you forget some of that tonight.
Yeah, one of the things we can still have, fast cars and nightlife.
Yeah, she says. She's gonna turn down, like, the window, because it is June after all, and just let her hair be taken by the wind, and she's just smiling. A very broad smile at you, and just stretching herself out and enjoying life. Nightlife, certainly.
Yeah, and Charlie goes into his laid back driving at night pose.
Oh, yeah.
He's perfected since he first learned to drive when he was, I don't know, what would he have been, like 15?
This is it. You're just cruising the streets, wind in the hair. I guess life isn't so bad every moment. You have a beautiful brunette, or, well, black-haired lady at your side, and nice warm, the purring of your car. For a moment, maybe Charlie can forget his troubles and the troubles of the street in general.
Especially considering he was planning to be spending this night prowling out around outside grimy docks looking for bikers. This night has definitely taken a turn in the right direction.
It's much better, isn't it? He's not the only one who's busy in different ways during this week. Though I think, how far does he want to take this story with Emily this night? Because she's gonna go out and have a party with him. You're going on the dance floor. She's dancing with him, and she is one graceful creature, just perfectly in sync with the music. In fact, her dancing is probably mesmerizing. And she gets even more dice for being stunning. So if I just take half, that's going to be 5 successes. But now I rolled it and I have 7. So, yeah, she is... It's hard to not look at her when she's in this mood. And Emily, as the music plays and moves your bodies, you feel the pulse through it, like almost like Charlie has a heartbeat again. And her hands are everywhere, and she will definitely move in for a kiss.
Yeah, and Charlie will go along with it.
Ah.
This won't be a one-way experience either, because Charlie is also stunning. Also has
I
two dots in
know.
with a speciality in dance.
Why do you think she chose you? You're stunning. That hasn't come into play a whole lot so far, Goldtooth, but it sure is coming into play right now. So I guess it's gonna be a night of it. You're just gonna dance, and she is definitely going to drag you away to a motel room, or maybe a hotel room if you're going to a hotel here, and just, I have a place, and whispering sweet nothings into your ear sometime by midnight as you go up to a hotel room, and if she has her way, there will be some sweet lovemaking up there. There will be. Very well. Will this, just for closure of the scene, will this for Charlie include any drinking of her blood? She will offer it up if she's used to this kind of thing.
No, Charlie will not partake. And, as he gets to the end of the night, while there's just enough time left, Charlie will take her back down to the shoreline on the Gold Coast to face it to the east, where the sun is going to rise. Tell her to make the most of it while she still can, and will then kiss her and leave.
Very good. That is a very romantic place to leave off. Absolutely. I mean, there's just the silence between words, and that, I think the silence itself tastes sweet. She's sinking her breath to you. You feel matched. It's not just a kiss. It's a close enough that fine facial nerves spark. And, yeah. She'll, you will feel her eyes lingering on your back when you leave, and she will, in fact, take your advice and look at the sunrise when it comes up. As far as you don't know, because you can't be there at the time. Meanwhile, in a different part of town, Sylvester...
Yes? Is it time for Malkavian bingo night?
It might just be time for Malkavian bingo night, which is the best night, isn't it?
Of course. Nothing bad will ever happen.
Nothing bad has ever happened in Malkavian bingo night. Malkavian bingo night is a completely normal place to go to and be at. And everybody loves Malkavian bingo night, right? I don't know why that never keys in properly. Someday they're gonna fix it, but not tonight, apparently. I have to do the whole display name every time, so it does it on every new scene that we have, because for some reason it just will not update properly. Don't know why it does that, but there we are.
I feel like I found a good clip of how a Malkavian bingo night goes.
Okay.
All right, this is not, but it's same sort of vibes. I've sent it.
Very well.
Watch at your own discretion.
I'm scared now.
Someone asked if I could talk to them right now, and I was just like, I can't, I'm sorry, I'm held hostage by Malkavian bingo night.
This is true, isn't it? Malkavian bingo night. Your favorite time of night.
Absolutely.
I'm just taking notes for absolutely no reason. Sylvester, you are arriving at the Chicago, it's actually the Illinois Psychiatric Institute. And it is, in fact, bingo night. They have several nice rooms for this purpose. In some places, of course, there are more mortals than this. But in this particular place, this room has... there's going to be a nurse who has the big bingo board on the wall. And then you're going to recognize your clanmates. Old grandma sitting in her wheelchair. Young son next to her. And Mr. and Mrs. Smith, of course. Don't know if you necessarily recognize the last one here, who was introduced to you as Mr. Weltman.
Either way, I will just blush of life just to be sure in case there are any mortals there.
And Mrs. Smith will come up here and walk over to you. Ah, young Sylvester, so good to see you again. And she's looking at your cheek a little bit. You do look a little bit pale. Maybe I should fix you up with my own private brew. That will help you, won't it? I'm sure you'll feel much better immediately. Let me just fix it in the kitchen, shall I?
Oh, that's most kind, thank you.
And she's gonna go towards a kitchen nook, which has a refrigerator and stuff. And Mr. Smith is sitting there with his bingo card, and son is just looking at you with a smile and runs his hand through his hair. Oh, Sylvester. If I'm son, does that make you grandson or great-grandson?
I think I asked this another time, and I don't think we came to a conclusion.
We didn't, did we?
No.
How is the night with you?
Oh, it's been good. It's been real good.
I'm glad to hear it.
How's the night been with you then?
Oh, one step in front of the other. You take your amusements where you can find them, of course. But I heard through Little Bird, who spoke into my ear, that you have a band, don't you?
Yes, I'm a guitarist.
Aren't you? Yeah, I need to hear you play live. I bought all your records. And I like the direction you guys are going in. It is just... Baby Chorus is fine and all, don't get me wrong, but I think you might just be able to surpass your dad.
Oh. Maybe although I don't try to make it a competition.
He has 4 successes on his charisma etiquette, Sylvester. But... Oh, I wasn't saying that it would be a competition. I'm just saying that when you are an artist like yourself and you're performing, then aren't you trying to live forever, as the song goes?
Yes. It's supposed to be people's minds and a little literally more than I intended.
Yeah, I really hope you do. It would be great. Like, we could have... Maybe we should speak to Mr. Thornhill and have double number at the club, Succubus, and unless you have a place of your own to play.
Oh, I have one in the works, although he did promise my band to play at the Succubus Club at some point.
Cool. I'll definitely be there to watch it. Father and son together on stage. That would be something, wouldn't it? I think our kin who like roses would be a little bit surprised that we have so many musicians in our family, wouldn't you say? Isn't that kind of hilarious?
And if I was a Toreador, I'd be so fucking mad at this coterie because both Duke Charlie are Malkavian. Sylvester's a Malkavian. And the one Toreador they get is fucking Chris, and he's just an athlete.
Yeah.
Fuck.
It would be hilarious if I could make it to some gatherings of the Rose. Probably fit right in.
Oh, we could
Like,
do
then
something.
there's-
We could do something fun with that, can't we? He says,
Yeah.
smiling wickedly. We could maybe. So, Kathy is a guitarist. You're a guitarist. What if you could play the guitar better than Kathy? She cheats, obviously, but which is why people adore her. But if your raw talent versus Kathy without her cheating, I think you just might win. And other than that, they only have Nero, and Nero is almost so out there that he could be one of us, really. Sylvester, why don't you roll a wits and insight check for me? Yeah.
My favorite.
It's your favorite.
Should I blood search this? No.
That's entirely up to you. Wow.
I don't need to, probably.
Alright, you don't need to, apparently. Sitting and talking to Sun, his smile never reaches his eyes, and you get that feeling after a while. He's very charming, he's very nice and ingratiating and all that. Obviously, just the picture of friendliness, really. But it feels a little like the picture of friendliness of he is.
Wait, can you pause for a moment? I disconnected for 30 seconds.
Oh no. But he's a picture of friendliness that, like, the anglerfish has a lure, and you're right now looking at the lure and going, "Oh, that's so charming and nice." And then behind that lure is a really big set of teeth that will eat you whenever you let your guard down. So, yeah, there's that. The question is, why would he want to eat you? You're not entirely sure yet.
I'm being manipulated. How fun.
He hasn't manipulated yet. He hasn't
Yet.
manipulated you yet, but maybe a little.
Yet.
Maybe a little bit. Maybe, yeah, maybe. We'll see.
Maybe a whole bunch.
Meanwhile, the caller flips N29, and Grandma is tracing a circle on her card, but never marks it. And she's gonna look at you, Sylvester. She's looking at your card. Your card has the N29 there. And she's circling it on your card. So, she's looking at you. And there's a question in her eyes. She's raising her eyebrows. She wants something from you.
Looking down at my bingo card, do I have any lucky numbers here? Am I close to the bingo, or is this something else that's going on?
This is something else going on.
Do I get the sense that she might be looking for... Because his family likes sharing secrets that I hear.
Yep.
Is that maybe what she's looking for?
Maybe. you are. She's muttering to herself. You're still chasing noise, really. Just noise. And the king and the queen. Yes, that's... You never know. You never know who's going to move first. But where's the king?
A lot of,
I don't know where the queen is either.
yes, a lot of chess pieces.
You shouldn't take it too seriously, she says. You're just a pawn. And cackles a little bit. Wait until you become a bishop like me.
But what if I'm the hand that moves the... well, chess piece?
She's looking around. She's looking above. No hands around me.
Don't be so certain.
Oh, you're right. Good. Yes. Yes. Now you understand. Now you understand. Yes. Don't be so certain. She's looking above you. Who is moving you? Who is moving you? Do you know who's moving you?
I have
Is
my
it a bishop,
suspicions.
a rook, a knight?
I believe a knight is trying to move me, but
Could
I
be.
just...
Black or white? Black or white?
Good question.
We all know who's moving who, says Mr. Smith suddenly. It's Majestic 12. Ever since their work on MK Ultra, they never disappeared. And I think, in fact, they're doing secret experiments on some of us here in the city. Yeah. They want to find out how they can use us against the Soviets. Yeah. That's what it's going. That's what it's about. Sooner or later, they're going to take you. Yeah, grandson. They're going to take you, and you're going to be put into and they're going to knives and yeah, vivisection, and then they're stitched up, and they smooth it over like it never happened. That's what the alien abductions really are. Yeah. It's all the feds. Always has been.
Actually, that does make a little bit of sense.
Who is going to win the bingo night, do we think, Sylvester?
I don't know, it's predetermined. Am I lucky?
It's predetermined. Who has the best premonition? In a room full of Malkavians.
The thing is, even if you have premonition, like, the cards we get are already predetermined, so it wouldn't help us. We could guess, technically, who gets the bingo with our premonition, but...
Yeah, this is literally a room filled with people with premonition, isn't it? That feels very much like the Malkavian way of things. Mrs. Smith is going to come back, and she has a pint of blood for you. And she's going to stir it again. There's some kind of herb on the side of the glass. Is it oregano? You don't know. Maybe some rosemary. It smells. Maybe mint. Yeah, it smells of several different herbs. And she's going to put it in front of you and just go, now drink your tea, dear, so you can get strong and bullish again. You absolutely need some extra colors on those cheeks.
Oh, why, thank you. I feel so at home. Yeah, looking at this quote-unquote drink, is this gonna have horrible side effects if I drink this, or is it probably just fine?
How would you know?
You do have sense the unseen.
I do have sense to see it, actually. I don't
You
know.
do
It's
have
probably...
sense the unseen.
So if it's magically altered, I would know. But if it's not, I would just have to fucking guess.
It smells like very strong vitae. That's all I can tell you.
A vitae? Okay.
Yeah, it's
Not the regular blood. Huh. That's risky. Fuck it. My conviction is courage. Courage is the highest virtue. I'm drinking this.
Yes, let's go.
Fuck yeah, absolutely.
I'm following my convictions at the fault. No problem.
Well, I might have to make a note of that. It's
Oh
good and one hunger sated. Yeah.
no. Accidentally makes
It
a
is.
fucking...
It is quite
Go ahead.
strong blood as you're drinking it. It is certainly stronger than your sire's. You remember drinking your sire's blood, don't you? A long time ago. Yeah, you've just drunk Kindred Vitae, which was delicious. Absolutely delicious.
Ah yes, accidentally creates a Voldery with this entire family. Yeah, yeah, no.
There you
That's more
go,
of a-
sweetie. You get a pat on the head.
Yeah, good.
The evening will eventually draw to a close as the eccentric family is doing their thing, but before you leave, this gentleman will actually wanting to have a word with you as well. He's gonna leave at about the same time as you do, whenever that is. He's very much the epitome of a distinguished elder gentleman. He might be 70 or so, but has a quick step and bright eyes and a smile. He spent much of the night just staring out into empty space, apparently chuckling to himself every once in a while at a joke that maybe only he understands, but then again, Malkavians, right? He has the absolutely finest garments. We're talking a silk blazer, or maybe it's a velvet blazer and then a silk shirt underneath, proper smoking jacket, and a cravat with a very nice stone in it. And yeah, he'll look at you, and I've heard of you, Mr. Sylvester?
Yes.
New in town, I understand your lineage can be traced to Sun, can't it?
New as in... maybe half a year, give or take. But yes, I'm of the lineage.
I'm not of the family myself. I draw my lineage to a different sire and grandsire. But we're all part of the same larger family, aren't we? The same family tree eventually.
Family tree, family rosebush.
Indeed. What do you make of your kin in there?
Well... Are they a little bit off to the side, by the way? Or is this just still by the table of...
Oh, this is going to be like when you have decided that you want to leave. And he will take his leave at the same time.
It's hard to put the words to it than just a single conversation, but
Yes, I know what you mean. I noticed that Sun wanted to speak quite a lot with you, which is maybe not so strange for a grandsire to his grandchild. I'm afraid his eccentricity, let's just say, I think sooner or later someone is going to get hurt. That's what I believe.
I felt a vibe, but I wasn't going to voice it.
That is probably a good idea.
Like a wolf among sheep kind of situation.
Quite so. The question is, who among us are truly wolves? Funny you should say that on this night with a full moon and all. Well, at least the moon isn't red yet. So, at least for the moment, we can feel calm about that.
Is that metaphorical or literal?
I suppose we'll find out, but I don't think I would want to spend my nights outside when the moon is red and the howls fill the air.
Ah. I see. I didn't get your name.
Ah, of course. I'm sorry. Why? I've completely forgotten my manners. My name's Johann Veltman. He's gonna shake your hands.
He will with a firm handshake.
What was that?
Sylvester will shake with a proper handshake.
Yeah. Very pleased to meet our most recent addition to the family. I remember when the family was a good deal younger and a good deal smaller, but I can't say that I have seen as many nights as Grandma, of course.
Yeah. America was young once.
Indeed it was. If you ever want to call upon me, he's going to give you his card. Perhaps... Are you at all... I don't know about you young ones. Are you at all interested in philosophy, that sort of thing?
Depends on what device I'm having that night.
Of course. Should your interest in philosophy ever fuel your passions, I hope we meet again. I have quite the library, and I'm always happy to take on students. It is a precarious path we walk, Mr. Sylvester. We the struggle to chain that beast inside of us is, for many, a losing battle. I hope and pray that it will not be so for you.
Oh, I don't. I do have maybe someone in my coterie that enjoys philosophy.
Oh, indeed. I'd be happy to meet
Yes.
them. Perhaps I should come by sometime.
Perhaps. perhaps we'll give a call.
Oh, that would be my pleasure. My pleasure. Tony!
Yeah?
Aren't you out and about and looking for things?
Yeah, in fact, I'm gonna say that where maybe Charlie was a little bit less bold, I do go into the Badlands.
You do go to the Badlands. Okay, then.
Looking. Yeah.
Because why not?
Do you at least tell your associates that you're going to a place where you might be horribly murdered? Just so we know where to send the search party.
Yeah, I basically tell you all that I'm searching in the Badlands. And probably Kate gives me some shit for it, as she always does.
Yes, absolutely.
Definitely bringing the shoddy.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah, because there's no fucking way I am walking into this shit without a way to absolutely delete a vampire.
Are you gonna delete? Oh, who are you gonna delete? A Sabbat, hopefully.
Hopefully a Sabbat.
That's what you want to delete.
If it's Sabbat, they're getting blasted. If it's an arc, they're getting a warning.
Are you driving around this night? We're driving around, aren't we?
Yeah, absolutely. Across the Badlands.
Across the Badlands. That's the best place to be driving. You want to track down... I think you're going to find one of the tags, actually. It's like, Sabbat rules, let the beast follow your beast.
At this point, I would say that Tony has maybe started to carry around spray paint and maybe just, like, sprays over it.
Yeah, that makes sense. We're protecting the masquerade here, aren't we?
Exactly.
Somebody's gotta.
Exactly. The masquerade keeps us all safe.
Unfortunately, Tony has absolutely no investigation to speak of, and his intelligence is, shall we say, average.
Yeah.
I
can always
That's literally
try,
what it is. That is literally what it is.
Yeah, like literally, I only have 2 intelligence dice, but fuck it.
Let's ball.
Balling was done a little bit. Just a bit, though. Not much.
Just a bit. Okay, so... Let's see.
Wait, I just realized. It probably would have been better to use intelligence street-wise.
That's fair. But,
I
yeah.
guess
It says we're doing... Yeah, investigation or streetwise. I'm thinking about which one would be like the best dice pool to figure out more traces for these guys. And I just can't make
like
up my mind.
basically gather up what little information, like the information I have about the Badlands in my little skull, to hopefully find something. So I guess I'll roll 3 more D10.
Okay. Yeah, but this is now you're out in the Badlands, so there are no people to talk to, so it's less streetwisey that way.
Okay.
This night, you're gonna be very lucky, of course.
Fuck. Oh, fuck.
Yeah, they're pulling up. Actually,
Well,
not
I'm
pulling
still
up.
in my-
They're not in a car. They are jumping up on various walls and such, surrounding you. Look who's here! Trying to blame us for some new Anarch's coming in. You're faking it. Admit it. That's Damien screaming.
I didn't come here to start a fight with you.
You came here so you started a fight by coming here, sucker, says Damien, and just jumps down from the wall, and you can see how his wonderful super modern sneakers blink in the night. Yeah, Genghis is gonna circle around on another side, while Dickie, with his amazingly tall mohawk, he's just sitting up there looking at you and going, "What have you done with Elucid? Where is he?"
I genuinely do not know who you're talking about.
Fuck you. You know who we're talking about. Elucid.
Look, I'm guessing Elucid is some sort of other Anarch dickhead. And trust me, if I wanted him gone, you would have known about it.
Who you calling dickhead, asswipe, says Damien, stepping up. Elucid went into your house, he never came out. What did you do to him? Stocky, about this tall, Nosferatu, ugly as fuck.
I don't fucking know what happened to him.
You do know what happened to him, didn't you? Don't you? Ish.
A rough idea, but I don't necessarily. Whatever happened to him afterwards, I was not involved in.
So are you gonna tell them what happened to him? Or...
I'm gonna try and use persuasion to basically give him a less bad version of what. Basically tell him I don't necessarily know what he's up to now, or if he's dead or alive.
Alright, let's go.
So I'm guessing definitely persuasion. Going to blood surge this.
For some reason.
Which attribute?
Charisma? Why not?
All right. In that case, then, I think I'll also add presence.
Ooh.
Fuck it. Let's ball. Okay, then.
What?
Nice.
That was like all the successes. All the successes. Wait a minute. Are you doing... Yeah, okay, so that's... Yeah, so... I should blood surge more often with my guys. Clearly. I could give him 2 more dice for being helped out by his friends here. But I don't know if that's going to make... Oh, look at that! That is actually a crit. So now I have 4, 5, 6. You still have 2 more successes than he has.
Yeah.
So, what are you telling them?
He's a Nosferatu. He's probably in the fucking sewers or some shit.
What happened after he got into your place, though, says Damien.
We kicked him out.
You kicked him out. Just like that.
Yeah, we roughed him up a bit, we questioned him, and then we kicked him out.
Wait a minute. Why am I rolling intimidation charisma here? He's trying to read your state of mind. It should be wits and insight. He's looking at you, like scrutinizing you really hard to see if you're hiding anything. And clearly you're not. Clearly you're being completely honest in every way, shape, and form. God's teeth.
Absolutely. I have never lied in my entire life.
Never in your entire life. Okay, so I guess Damien is like, oh, whatever, man. Fuck you. Why are you working against us? You should be on our side, you fucker. Like, what? Why is your head so far up the sheriff's ass you can smell his tonsils? What's wrong with you, man?
I have Sabbat to hunt. I'm done with this.
Sabbat? There's no fucking Sabbat in this city, man. You're delusional. There's Sabbat in the city? When the fuck did Sabbat come to the city? This is the second time we hear someone talking about the fucking Sabbat in the city, man.
Are you fucking stupid? The Sabbat attacked the fucking opera house. Did you not hear about that?
Yeah, we heard about that. From one of your pals. If you're all in on the same lie, why should we trust you?
Here's what I think. Here's why I think you should. If it was Anarchs who did that, you'd be fucking dead already.
You know what I think, says Damien? I think this is like one of those fake outs. Like blue blood fake outs. They did it to themselves to blame it on us. To just ramp up the heat. Now, the cops are gonna be even more motivated. There's gonna be like journos everywhere with cameras and shit. You're just trying to give us a bad name, man. And you were the one to make it happy. You were there, weren't you, at the opera? You trashed that place. It was you, wasn't it?
No, you fucking simpleton. I was there to schmooze with other Camarilla vampires. Then the Sabbat show up, they broke the masquerade. Killed a few people.
I'm gonna roll a resist frenzy here. Difficulty 2 because of all the insults. He resists the frenzy. You better beat it right now. Cammy scum. Or are we gonna shove our feet so far up your ass you can use my shoelaces to floss your teeth? You get it?
Tony turns around and just starts walking away. You ain't gonna do shit, you fucking pussy.
Oh yeah, you want to get going right here, right now? He says.
And Tony just ignores him and just walks off.
That's what I thought. You hear him screaming after you. That's what I thought. You'll get yours. You and all the fucking elders. When the revolution comes.
And Tony just starts laughing a little bit, chuckling a little bit at that.
You're talking about a revolution.
Talking about a revolution. That is exactly what they're doing. So as you can see, you've all had very eventful weeks. From a very eventful week from many points of view. Let's see. Tony and Charlie, you're still on the beat and trying to find the Sabbat as the days continuing, aren't you? Or at least one of you are, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Charlie is as well.
Charlie, what?
Charlie is as well.
Very good. And Chris, what might Chris be up to now that he, has to think about Cammy? I don't know.
I guess he's going to. Oh my god, how evil is this guy? He's going to organize like a really fancy romantic date for Cammy.
Ooh, that is very nice. So you're not working on the whole thing with a...
He doesn't have any connections in the gang. He could go
doesn't,
to...
does he?
No. He could go there and talk to people, but he'd probably get murdered. Again.
That makes sense. That makes sense. Let's see. We have...
He's willing to go and, like, rock down somebody if they have a lead, but he doesn't have the skills to go around looking for people.
That makes sense. You are going to hear some new leads, actually, Charlie and Tony. Because I think Charlie and Tony are those who are taking point in this. Kate is doing her work through police scanners and whatnot. And Sylvester, I don't know how much Sylvester can help with the whole finding out. You have some streetwise too, don't you? And a contact even. Right, Sylvester?
Yes, I do have a contact.
You do have a contact, so some things. There's going to be some filtering of rumors here from various people that you... So this is going to be a tavern owner, Sylvester, that I think you have been by there with Vixen.
Tavern?
Yeah, but they needed a live band, and you needed money. Or at least your band member friends needed money. So this is what up-and-coming musicians do. They play anywhere they can get a gig. And if it has to be a tavern, maybe there was like a birthday and they wanted some cool rock and roll for the birthday. When you got there, it turned out to be like the scene out of Blues Brothers. We got both country and western. When they were thinking about rock and roll at that tavern, they were thinking about Elvis and Buddy Holliday, not glam rock. So I don't think that so these people were like silent generation, old. They have just gotten used to Elvis Presley and the Beatles and have no idea what glam rock even is. So when they saw in the ad in the paper, glam rock band looking for gigs, call us here, they called you because glam sounds cool and rock is rock and roll. It's Elvis and Beatles. It has to be. Yeah, that's one of your connections. You have other connects too. You have a few eyes and ears in the hospitality circuit where you've been playing things. And as you're calling around, have you seen a weird biker gang? And this guy is... The other night, it was kind of weird. There was like they talked about a biker brawl going on, but I didn't hear no engine roar. It was dead quiet. All I heard was like a truck backing up in the alley. It just stopped abruptly. Yeah, I guess there were a few people coming in there, and they were hurt and all, and they'd been banged up. They talked about some bikers, they had the what was it called? RR something. It was something Latin. Riders. But yeah, we didn't hear no engine roar going on after that. So I don't know maybe they left their bikes at home? Fuck if I know. Anyway, that's all I got for you, Sil.
Don't worry about it. Thank you.
And for Charlie, they were expecting American Graffiti and they got the Crow. Close enough, right? And for Charlie, you're talking to your network, and there's a night clerk that remembers 3 helmets they were like skull motifs, fang motifs, lots of blood on it. They had very stylized gothic 2 double R's on the helmet, and they walked in on foot to buy some chain lube and gloves. Yeah. But there weren't no bikes around. And you, Tony, you will hear that there's a mechanic Yeah, by the name of Tony of Luca Reyes. Yeah. He did some work just the other night on... He was working and someone came in. They were buying hard compound tires and asking for ramp pins, which is stuff that you would associate with bikes. But these guys, they weren't riding bikes. They weren't even carrying their colors. They just left in a plain white van, really. Actually, it was more like a one of these U-Haul trucks, big one, with tarp over it, except it wasn't a U-Haul truck. Don't let me hear you say you didn't get any leads this session, 'cause you did.
Yeah, we did. I guess we could probably try and search for like cameras around like the shop, and then see like the U-Haul, and then try and follow the U-Haul to wherever it went through the cameras, like to extent.
Let's see how. Yeah, you can go and check that out. Absolutely.
This is becoming a recurring theme of bikers without bikes.
Well,
Turns
like,
out having a bike is optional to being a biker.
these are vampires, so they can't really travel around in bikes all the time because that would kill them.
Also, Charlie, you're a highly intelligent man. If you were a Sabbat pack tearing through a Camarilla city, the Camarilla city, Chicago is the biggest Camarilla city in North America, because New York is not a Camarilla city. Would you attract that much attention by constantly running around on your bikes, roaring through the streets with your collars on? Can you imagine a way to get arrested fast, get ID'd and located faster than doing that?
They are posers. Posers, I tell you. Posers.
Yeah, so it makes sense that they've got a truck which is like the mothership. They presumably sleep in. Maybe move the bikes around in if they don't want to be seen on them.
I feel like the best bet would be to try and find this mothership.
They're not real bikers.
They're not real bikers.
Just simply die in the sunlight, like a real biker.
Yes. That's the cool way to go.
It is pretty badass. Like, I'm thinking one of those flaming skeleton.
Yeah. The meme.
Yeah.
You know, if you know, you know.
If you don't, you don't.
We're gonna mix things up a little bit here and say that we are on Tuesday, June 25th. And Chris has a date with Cammy, Charlie has a date with Emily, and Sylvester and Tony might be out looking for, because I don't know that you're all doing...
And clarify, not on a date.
Yet.
Not on a date.
Sylvester and Tony might be on a date looking for the Sabbat. I don't know. It's
We're on a
not
date with
impossible.
Destiny.
What was that?
We're on a date with Destiny.
Okay,
Yes.
fair. Date with Destiny, that works too. So, Chris and Charlie. Where would you take Cammy on a date, Chris?
Oh,
Or are you going to the Succubus Club? She wants to go to the Succubus Club because she's heard it's the coolest place in town.
would I take her there? Yeah, let's go to the Succubus Club. Why not?
It's the coolest place in town, I'm telling you.
Okay.
You know that, right? And Charlie, you're on a date with Emily, who also thinks that it's the coolest club in town. So, apparently, you're all at the Succubus tonight.
There's no way this could possibly go wrong.
No, it's the best place. It's fine. Maybe she likes to just live a little bit dangerously. Who knows? She does get a mischievous glint in the eye when she proposes this. Because why not?
It's only going to be full of vampires, and word may get back to Neely that she's there.
I don't see a problem with that. Do you see a... Oh, maybe a little bit. Maybe, yeah. Potentially, there could be a problem with that. Cammy is absolutely hanging on Chris here. It's a Tuesday night, so it's not going to be super full with people. Sir is always there. We know this much, right? And Charlie and Emily on the dance floor.
Sir looks like Alan Partridge.
Possibly.
What?
You're lucky tonight, Charlie. There are very few kindred here tonight. Isn't that nice? You haven't seen a single one. You're just dancing along there and having a lot of fun. Emily, as always, is an amazing dancer, and yeah, she is... If you are not leading the dance, she will be, just by virtue of her absolute grace. And Cammy is amused by whatever you're doing, Chris. I think Chris and Charlie might see each other, because unless it depends on which dance floor you want to be on here. Are you on the main dance floor or downstairs?
Let's go on the main dance floor. I want to stay in the human areas.
Very well. Emily's also on the main dance floor. And, yeah.
Plus this way, if it all goes to hell, at least there's two of us here.
Exactly. What would possibly go to hell? We don't know. Maybe we know a little bit of what's gonna go to hell. Because there will be a hush on the dance floor as the crowd around here, the music keeps blaring, but a lot of people just looks in a certain direction, and that direction is Neely. And Emily will, of course, look at you and be like, oh shit.
What was that? I'm supposed to have enhanced hearing, so I probably would have heard that clearly. What did she say?
Yeah, she's... Oh, shit, he's looking for me. He's been getting mad at me for having so much fun, and she's just winking. And then she's going to start dragging you out the back of the club.
I guess Charlie's just along for the ride at this point.
Very well. You exit stage left, as it were. But Chris doesn't have to worry about such things, right? Yeah, Neely's moving through the crowd like he's looking for something. Your awareness is very low, except you do have heightened senses, but I don't think you're using heightened senses right now in the club, because
I don't
all
care
your
about...
senses would be hurting a lot.
No. I'm trying to show this girl the best night she's ever had. That's what my intention is. Maybe I don't even notice Neely is there unless he walks up and says hello to me.
You will notice him just because of the sheer magnetism exuding from him. All eyes are drawn to him right now as he's walking through this crowd. The trick he's using, Chris, you're a Toreador. He's definitely using his awe.
Yeah.
And humans are like, look at that guy. Look at him. Look at that guy. And he actually looks wrong to you. Let's go with wits and insight for you.
Wits. I do not. This roll looks wrong. Oh my god. This is where I regret having read Chicago by Night. You know what? Chris doesn't really care about this, so he's not going to blood search, even though Jan really wants to win. But Chris doesn't.
That's a success. He's... Look at that. His hair is unkempt, and it even looks like he actually has a toupee on the top of his head that slid a little bit.
Can I ask a question about Neely? Is he like well known in like Chicago town circles? Not as vampire as like a guy.
He's known as a guy working with the city hall, for those who pay attention to such things. But you have to pay attention to politics and public management, and I don't think Chris does that.
No, he doesn't. Chris knows he's the senator of the city. That's enough for Chris.
Yeah.
I was just thinking of everybody else's reaction.
Oh yeah, no, they don't recognize him. They're
like if he's a guy who famously died 50 years ago.
Oh, they don't recognize. People are like, wow, what's up with this guy? That's basically.
That's what I was asking.
Yeah. Yeah, his hair is a bit disheveled. He has a snarl on his face. And he just walks right into the crowd to the dance floor. And you haven't quite gotten out of the club yet, Charlie. You have left the dance floor. You're heading towards the back door. And I think Neely is going to stare at Cammy and then just say, come.
Excuse me?
Yeah, he just locks eyes with her and says, come. And she's just
didn't know
walks
this was rated
over
X.
to him in a daze. Are we doing anything, Chris?
I'm gonna walk, like, with her, just...
Yeah. And then she says, still. And then he just grabs her by the neck, fangs out, clear violation of the masquerade, and bites down.
As soon as I see that, I'm going to have to intervene.
People start screaming as he just plunges his neck into her throat. And he's twisting his head about in a gruesome way. Okay. You've seen this too, Charlie. Even though you're by the door to the exit, and everybody starts screaming right now. So I guess we'll have some, let's see now. Chris has, what do we have here? Chris has what is it? Wits and awareness. No, we don't roll a d10. We just look at our composure awareness, I think it is. So it's 4 for Chris. And Charlie has
Was it composure wits you said last time?
Was it composure? Oh my god, why can I remember? This is so silly. Just, advanced systems, advanced conflict, physical.
Could you argue that,
who goes for it? Composure awareness. That's what it is. Composure awareness. So composure and awareness. That is 4 for.
I have a question, Mikhail.
What was that?
Could you argue that perhaps like an increase in level of, say, celerity could increase your, what's the word I'm looking for? Initiative?
That is from earlier editions.
Sounds dumb that they removed that.
But they did.
Well,
Like, it makes a little bit more sense that, like, the vampire who literally has speed powers would be able to react to situations quicker.
Yep. But they did.
Whack-ass rules.
Yep. Emily is the fastest person here, and she's gonna just exit stage left. She leaves, and she wants to drag Charlie with her, but will Charlie come?
I know Charlie's gonna have to stay and deal with this.
She gives you a frustrated look. I'll be in my car. And she exits. Chris, you're up. You can do something.
I'm going to... I was on a date, so I'm not going to regret say I have any weapons on me. I'm going to tackle him.
Tackle him! Alright,
Yeah.
You can take a minor action worth up to 2 dice per turn, so you can rush up and tackle him without any negatives. Let's go. Dexterity brawl.
Oh, I thought tackle would be athletics, but whatever. Brawl is the same, whatever. I don't
No,
care.
it's definitely brawl.
Why do I always do that? Wrong. And I am going to Blood Surge, and I can't add my celerity, can I? No.
No,
Because
not
it's
to
only
this.
for non-combat.
Yeah.
How many successes is that? All the law. I'll willpower reroll. Just
Okay.
I
I mean-
really want to win.
If you could add celerity, that would also be very masquerade breaching.
He's already done it, so like it's a bit harsh after the closing the barn door after the horse has escaped at this stage.
So we now have 5 successes. Okay, he is going to... what is he going to do? He's going to try to... yeah, okay. Bam! He's going to go to the floor. Thump.
Oh, by the way, I know when I said I was tackling him, I deliberately put my head down so he can't like I'm looking away from him. He can't look me in the eye. Because I
You
know
do
this
not want to
guy's
get
adventurous.
dominated. Very surprising. So you're coming in underneath and just boom. You're doing a football tackle is what you're doing.
Yeah,
isn't it?
that's because that's the kind of
American
tackle.
football tackle, to clarify
Yes.
for European
Yes.
audiences and others. Yeah, he's not paying attention to you at all because he is currently just gulping it up from Cammy here, but he hasn't actually had the chance. He just tore into her neck and he's about to start drawing the blood. And as you tackle him, he will fly away from her, so there is a chunk of... She has definitely an aggravated damage in her neck right now. And there's just blood spurting from her neck. She's gonna need medical attention. Maybe he didn't get that far in, so maybe he hasn't necked an artery, but it's gonna look pretty gruesome anyway. And he's on the floor, and you're on the floor, and you're holding him down. Since you are doing this, this will count as physical provocation, won't it?
Yes.
I guess.
Oh my god, if Chris kills the Senate kill of the city, just rewrite a third character.
He has a steely resolve and will not go frenzy. Isn't that nice?
Oh, good.
That just makes the worrying question of if he isn't already in a frenzy. What the hell is wrong with him and what would happen if he did go into a frenzy?
I don't know. And I don't know.
He's gonna try to throw you off of him. And we'll see if he succeeds with that. 4 successes is not gonna be enough to break that grip, is it? You're on top of him. He's trying to get out of there and just wriggling and is not being able to, and let me go! Charlie, what do you want to do?
I will also come running in and join the grapple. Whichever limbs Chris hasn't got control over, I'll try to grab onto him.
Since you also have rapid reflexes, you can also grab onto him. So now there's two of you. He is very much grappled. What do you want to do next? He still has his fangs out. And there's a little bit of blood on his lip because he managed to get that. He's like, ah! He wants to get you off of him, obviously, but let me go! I need to feed now! Go home, you foolish whelps! It's dangerous to be out after dark.
You don't have a stake, do you, Roger?
No. Is there any other way to knock a vampire unconscious?
Not really, no. There's a lot of screaming right now, and people are just running out of the club. And Cammy is sitting on the floor and just absolutely confused by everything. Another vampire will join you as all this happens, and it is Brennan Thornhill.
The guy who owns this place. Thanks be to fuck.
Yeah.
Anything that goes wrong is his problem now. We are saved.
And yeah, he's lying there. Neely is lying there, and all those those coarse lines in his face, the brutish look, the hands that were cramped. He's relaxing everything. The fangs are retracting, and he's. What are you doing? Unhand me!
You were breaking the first rule. You need to calm down, Mr. Neely.
I'm fine. Unhand me.
I'd rather somebody.
Mr. Neely, says Thornhill, who is right there now. What's going on here? What happened? Why are you manhandling Mr. Neely? And what is this disruption? This is unacceptable in my club.
He was. Wait, how many people are around? Are there no humans around it at the moment, or are there a bunch?
No, they have all, like, the club staff will have evacuated the club as quickly as possible, and...
Okay, I'll just outright say, he was breaking the first tradition. He was feeding in public. In front, on your dance floor, in your club. I think he owes you a boon now.
Thornhill will look at Neely. Is this true? Cammy is still sitting there, holding a hand to her neck, and what happened? What is going on? What? He benched me! And she's screaming, and just her hand, she's just screaming and looking at Neely and pointing her finger at him, and just, and Sir will come waddling up from one of the booths, because he's always in one of the booths, isn't he? And I'm terribly sorry to have to say, Mr. Thornhill and Mr. Neely, but I'm afraid the two young ones are right. I can confirm that this truly happened. It was a most disturbing sight, Mr. Neely. Are you sure you're all right? And Neely is just confused. It must be nonsense. Very well, Mr. Thornhill, it seems like I do owe you a boon. Now, I assure you, gentlemen, Mr. Keller, Mr. Charlie, I am quite in my own senses. I do apologize for the ruckus I caused. He's glancing towards Cammy. This is most unfortunate, all of it. I really don't tend to. I am more selective in my choice of vessel. And he looks towards Cammy with a little bit of disgust. She's quite not to my tastes.
Understood. Okay, Mr. Thornhill, sir, this is your club, and I'm willing to release Mr. Neely into your hands.
is probably best if you do. Mr. Neely, shall we go upstairs to the lounge? I would rather retire to my own haven for the night, if you don't mind, he says. Of course. My hospitality is yours, Mr. Neely, says Thornhill. But I cannot force you to stay if you don't want to. I'm afraid I'm going to have to mention this to the prince. I'll talk to the prince, yes, says Mr. Neely. He runs both his hands through his hair and corrects the toupee so it sits nicely again, and then he says, yes, please excuse me, gentlemen, to both Charlie and Chris, and Sir as well. I really should be getting going. And he excuses himself and leaves. Let him go, lads. Let him go, young'uns. It doesn't do for us to interfere with an elder's business, does it?
Yeah, I step away. As soon as I said I released him into Tornell's thing, I got up off him. And I started to tend to Cammy.
Yeah. And so Neely leaves. And Cammy is looking at you, Chris. What happened? Help! I'm bleeding. I need a doctor.
It's okay. It looks just like... How about I'll give you some first aid? I think it's just a scratch, really. I'll give you some first aid and you'll be okay. I don't think you need to go to a doctor.
You are charming, and she is obsessed with you, so I guess you'll get away with it this time. Meanwhile, in a different part of town, Sylvester and Tony have been out looking for anarchs. Not really.
He's still in his own car because he is not driving around. He's not going to be in the same car as a Malkavian and his ghoul.
What?
That just seems like a...
What is this? This is just prejudice. That's what I call it. Prejudice.
Yes, and?
Right. This night
Come on
you
now,
are...
Leopold is a nice driver.
Yeah, he's a nice driver. This night you are skulking around, right? You're skulking? Aren't you skulking?
I suppose we are.
It's one of the warehouse districts. You're looking for tags. And so far you haven't found any. It's a decent 50-50 chance that you would find something around here. But as you're looking around here, there is in fact an armed guard. It's not a police officer, it's like a private security company. But he's moving up towards you and says, someone in the... Excuse me.
Yeah?
Yeah, someone in the warehouse here would like to meet you.
Who?
I don't know what his name is. I just call him the boss, really.
Fuck it, sure. Sylvester, Leo, come over here.
You want me to join? Yeah, sure, why not? This doesn't look like a trap at all.
You're definitely coming up on the Sabbat tonight, aren't you?
Doesn't matter if it's a trap. I'd still win.
Leopold, cover our, will you?
Yeah, sure. Where do you want me, boss?
Well, keep an eye behind us in case things go bad.
Is he going in with you or staying outside?
He's coming with, I would say.
Alright.
Because Sylvester is asking him to pay attention, like, behind him in case anything...
Right, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. And Tony will just say, alright, your ghoul's keeping an eye on our backs. You keep an eye up front.
That's the plan.
Ah, what? I click on. No, not that. Gee, why is it so hard? Sometimes it's not easy, sometimes it's hard. And when it's not hard, it's easy. Never mind. He's going to lead you into a warehouse. You're not surprised to hear, because that's what he said that he was going to do, didn't he? And this warehouse it's a storage building, really, and you can feel the smell of rot as you're coming in. Like old water-stained cardboard boxes that are slowly molding. And this is just boxes stacked to the ceiling. And as you're going through, it's like a labyrinth of shelves, and the guard is leading you through it to the very center of this place. And you can hear a noise in here. Let's see now. Tony, awareness. It sounds like a little clickety-clack-clackety. And you can hear, what is that? Choo-choo.
Fuck.
So if you get in there and like this Sabbat biker gang are all playing with a model railway, this is going to be even more disturbing than the bingo night.
Possibly. But that's not at all what's going on. What you are going to be led into is a model railway. That much is true. But the man who is sitting there on a chair, dressed in a conductor's uniform, including hat and everything, he doesn't look anything like any of the Sabbat folks you met that night in the theater. He's a fat, childlike man with a sooty, hat. He has a very flabby head, and he's looking at you. Ah, yes. Come in, my pretties. Come in.
The first thing I say is, I lean my head towards Sylvester and I say, friend of yours?
Leave us, he says to the guard.
And I guess Tony will move up and say, all right then, what do you want?
Oh, what I want is to introduce you to a secret. This secret. Few have been privileged enough to. Yes, but I can only do that if you promise to keep the secret.
All right then. Go on ahead.
And then he looks towards you, Sylvester, because Tony has already given his promise.
Have I at any point seen this guy?
Nope, definitely not.
Huh. Sure.
Ah, excellent, my young ones. Yes, yes. Wait, you are young ones, right? You are. I've never seen you before, so you have to be young ones. You must be new neonates in the city, yes. And you will be mine to command. Excellent.
Yes, I'm 30 years young. Pleased to meet.
Yes, of course, yes. He leans forward in a very conspiratorial fashion, puts his hand on his own chest. I am Edgar Drummond. And he just nods. That should mean everything to you.
At that Tony just nods, like, all right then, Drummond.
Welcome to my domains. From here, I control all the trains in this city, above and below ground. See? There goes the train leaving for Los Angeles right now. I know all the timetables.
Nice place you have here.
Isn't
I'm guessing
isn't
you... It is very nice. But I'm guessing you didn't invite us here just to look at how you run things. So, that secret of yours.
This is the secret, he says. I run the trains. You didn't know that, did you? Because it is a secret between me and the prince, and of course, Ballard. Ballard
This Tony is just mentally deciding whether or not he has the strength not to just pull out the shotgun and blast his ass. Just one side is whispering, "Do it." The other side is whispering, "Maybe not yet."
Ballard is always trying to usurp me, but we all know who is the true right-hand man of the prince. The prince could not operate the city without my trains. It's the lifeblood, the economic engine of this place. And they are mine.
Since you seem to be quite into the back room of things, do you have any information about, say, the attacks recently?
Attacks? No, no one would dare touch my trains. They know the train system in the city is under my domains, and who would dare touch me, Drummond, child of Loden?
They weren't brave enough to attack you, obviously. No.
Getting a promotion soon, finally. It's been long, long coming. I don't know why Loden has been so stingy about that, but between you and me, my sire he doesn't understand the importance of what makes a modern industrial city tick. The lifeblood of the city, if you will. See what I meant there? The lifeblood, yes. But I will reward those who aid and are loyal to me. They can become my lieutenants, and perhaps even inherit the railroad when I'm gone. Who knows?
If I remember correctly, there was like a brief image of something regarding either a subway station or a railroad of station.
Yeah, there was definitely,
in my vision.
Yeah, there was.
Is this ringing any bells?
Are you looking over the map? Like, he has built the miniature map of the entire city of Chicago.
Yeah, actually, Sylvester is paying attention to that.
So what do you say? When I become promoted, I will need people to do my bidding and reach out further than I've ever done before.
I wouldn't mind doing some jobs for you here and there.
That's what I like to hear, yes. Good man there, yes. Young ones should know their place in the city in the order of things, and you are nothing but young, aren't you? Very good. He's looking at Sylvester. Are you a boy or a girl? You have such a long hair. So
That
long
was
hair.
That was just a Duende moment. What the fuck? Flashbang. Yeah.
It's the 90s, so gender fluid is not invented yet.
No, it's not.
Yeah, unfortunately, we're still just gender solid.
Oh, you flatter. I am a man with very pretty hair.
Huh. The fashions must have changed lately. Very strange. Very eccentric.
Yes.
You should cut it short when you're working for me. Anyway, as I was saying, and he starts talking about the various train routes, and here comes the cargo from whatever industry he's mentioning right now. And yeah, he's talking about that a lot right now. Trains. I think you will actually be able to identify he has built a very nice replica of the tower you saw in your vision, and
yes, Sylvester is totally gonna play into his special interest and be like, hey, do you know what this could be? And just be like, is this like a proper replica of like all of the trains?
Of course! How dare you ask such a question?
It's the reason being, I had this dream about this. I think it was a place. And I just want to check
a dream? It's just a dream. Nonsense. No, we're dealing with hard facts here. Coal. Steam. Yes. Iron. Steel.
Yeah. Of course, I want to ask such a professional as you about it.
Yes, of course you do. Of course you do. Yes.
Sylvester is gonna explain briefly what he saw. I don't remember. Me, the player, doesn't remember it in detail.
Yeah, he will be like, "Oh, it's over here," and he goes over to his model and points exactly to where. That is, yes, the number 5. You said so, right? Yes, B5.
Yes,
it's on this line here.
Oh yes.
I expect you to know these things if you're to work for me. And then
I don't know why I didn't see it earlier. You're so good at this.
Yes, exactly. He says, yes.
Such a photographic, picture-perfect memory.
Yes, perfect. Yes, I know every detail of. I can tell you about. And then he goes and sits down in his chair again, and he starts directing the traffic, and he starts pushing some buttons, and he seems to forget completely about the two of you at the moment.
Oh yes, Sylvester is very much giving the spiel that, yeah, of course will work for you.
Tony is just
his other character is lying. He's not committed to anything.
Tony just like grabs like a sticky note, just writes down like the location from like Sylvester's vision, and also writes down Drummond, crazy ass train bastard, and then like also writes down the location of this warehouse in case.
Drummond actually is on Loading's list, and the description of him is just incompetent!
God.
Oh my god.
Figured out something else from Loading's list. If Loading doesn't actually know who somebody's sire is, it says unknown. But if where the sire is just left blank, then Loading's the sire.
Maybe,
And what does it
maybe.
Oh, wait, it's blank on him?
And he said Loading was his sire. So extrapolate from that on the list. If the space is left blank, that means Loading's the sire.
Is he actually so embarrassed that he's not even putting it down? Oh, that's insane.
There's no point in his name because it's his list. He knows who he's sired, so presumably he just doesn't need to. And all the Ventru who don't have another sire, the ones left blank. There's nobody from any other clan who has the sire left blank.
Interesting.
What was Loden smoking when he sired this guy?
Who knows?
Smoking.
This guy has an idea, though. Just spend eternity playing with a model railway every night.
Yeah, no, this guy has the right idea, but that being said, though, Loden was on that Methuselah pack when he decided to
No.
this guy.
Like, Chicago, believe it or not, like, 70 years before this point where we are in the story, was like the center of the railway in America. Literally.
There was.
And if Loden controlled the railways in Chicago via this guy, then he basically controlled the railways in the world. So he was very smart to embrace him because that got him access to the railways. But obviously, railways are in the
Yeah,
dust, so
it's
he's
like a
kind
lot of those things where he saw potential, but later just fucking regrets it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and I guess he went for like a emotionally stunted person to sire to make him easier to control.
Yeah.
That's
Or
like-
maybe just this guy was a member of owned a railway already.
Whatever the case might be, Tony and Sylvester will leave this warehouse with a little bit more information than they had about his vision, and a lot more information about the Ventru clan than they might want to have, and a little bit of, okay, that was weird. And that is where we're going to leave this coterie for this week. Yeah, some developments in Chicago this week. We're not much closer to finding the bikers, but a little bit, because we had some leads, and maybe you can actually extrapolate from those next session. See you in a week, everyone. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in, and see you then.
Oh yeah, on Loading's list, there's one exception.